What's up, guys? Welcome back. Welcome back to another one. What's there? How's everybody doing? Today is the day, guys. Today is the day when 3i Atlas reached perihelion. It's today. And they're trying to figure out what's going to happen because this thing has been spraying out water. It's been doing the most. And it's reaching perihelion today. And guess what? The sun is not out over here. Everything is just cloudy. So everything's just cloudy. Today is the day. Today is October 29th. It is reaching perihelion today. How's everybody doing? NASA went quiet. NASA's not talking. Don't ask me about NASA. You can go to their website. I can try right now. They went dark. Let's see. Let's go. Yeah, they're not talking about anything on the website. Let's see if I could. Let's see. Yeah, it's all old stuff. No new stuff. No updated stuff on NASA. Just the same old, same old. Let's see. Let's go to recently published. Okay. Hold on. They're not talking about nothing about this asteroid. Nothing. Here, I'll show you. They're not talking about anything. Hold on, let me show you. Just see. I mean, there's something here. Nothing. They're not talking about nothing about this this satellite. I mean, this asteroid. I mean, this comet or whatever you want to call it, or interstellar object. They're not talking about nothing. Even it's very unusual because if it's a comet, they will be talking about because it's a comet. You know, a comet such as its size, it actually should make news. Now I'm on let me see, recently. Yeah, I'm on recently published. Let me look at the blogs. Let's see. Social media, nothing. Yeah, I'm done with this site, man. Because, like I said, they usually have like multimedia where we can watch this asteroid, like we was able to watch Muamua. Not this one.
Today is the critical day. The perihelion of interstellar object 3i Atlas, its closest approach to the sun. And, well, there's a few possibilities as to what could occur now and going forward into the future. It could continue along its trajectory just like normal. Effectively, A, it's some sort of space rock or interstellar comet of unusual properties. B, it could perform an Oberth maneuver, which means it could change its trajectory using that gravitational slingshot of the sun. It puts on a really big reverse thrust sequence. It could redirect to Earth. It would have to do a pretty severe reverse thrust to do that based off of our orbital alignments, but it's possible. Or it could do a very slight Oberth maneuver, if it is of alien or technological origin, to redirect to Jupiter and its moon system, which is what I explored in this video here. Definitely give that a watch. If 3i Atlas is of alien or technological origin, that is what I think is the most likely outcome for it to do. But even if it doesn't do any of these things, and that is my base case, it still has some very interesting things that it is going to participate in over the next few months, specifically in early January. It has its closest approach to Earth on December 19th. And then we have this incredible planetary geometry that forms on the 6th through 10th of January. Specifically, January 9th looks like the most precise alignment. And well, 3i Atlas is pretty much participating in this, and the alignment of the planets itself lines up with where we first observed 3i Atlas coming out of the constellation of Sagittarius. So in this video, we are going to explore what comes next after this perihelion of 3i Atlas, which looks like it's going to be even crazier than what has already happened. We'll begin by looking at a 3D view of our solar system as provided by the Sky Live. This is linked in the video description if you want to play with this yourself. And this is set for today, the 29th of October, the perihelion of interstellar object 3i Atlas. Here we see our inner solar system, and we also see out to Jupiter. We even see
I got to show you this. You see 3i Atlas is all the way to the left. You see where the sun is? It's going to reach its closest point to the sun in a few minutes. Now, it could do a few things. Either this thing is going to redirect itself towards us. It could redirect itself towards Jupiter. We don't know yet, but I know NASA quiet. Everybody quiet right now. Everybody's quiet. Let me tell y'all something real quick. If this bad boy redirects itself to us, I promise you people going to start panicking. I promise you. Because that thing is big enough to take out life. It's big enough to end this planet. That's how big it is. And let me tell you what they just did. They just sent something to outer space. To a defense thing they sent to outer space just in case. They sent it already. It's a probe they just sent. Just in case this thing is meant to hit us. They sent something up to either try to deflect it. I'm not sure what they're doing, but they damn sure sent something up to it. It's and I heard that all the government agencies, everybody's on high alert. Because this thing is reaching perihelion and it could use the energy of the sun to redirect itself towards us. Now, you see how it's headed to the sun? You can see it all the way to the left. You see where the red dot is? Just look up from the red dot. That's the that's it right there. Look where it's going to the sun, but look where Earth is. It looked like it's headed towards us. That's what it looks like. It looked like it has a mission to come right over where we're at. And the odds of this thing is happening, guys, right now on the trajectory it has is very low. The odds are extremely low for this to be flying like this. Extremely low. And it also is giving off properties that make people seem to think that it's man-made or alien-made or whatever. Yeah, they waiting to see now. They waiting for data today. They don't know what's going on.
Uranus there behind us. There is our unusual interstellar visitor, and this is its perihelion. So you see that it is at its closest approach to the sun, just about 1.36 astronomical units. The distance from the Earth to the sun is 1 astronomical unit. You can see that Earth and 3i Atlas are actually pretty far apart. And if it was to perform any sort of Oberth maneuver that causes it to go like this, meaning it would have to put on a reverse thrust to slow down, so then gravity would swing it around more like this, it would have to do a pretty significant reverse thrust sequence to do that. If we go forward in time, we do see that the Earth is moving forward in its orbit, but still it would have to be a pretty significant sequence. So if we don't start observing 3i Atlas around Thanksgiving or so, we know we got a problem. Don't think that's the most likely scenario, but regardless, it's certainly a possibility that could happen. Now, if we go back to our, we know we got a problem. Don't think pretty significant sequence. So if we don't start observing 3i Atlas around Thanksgiving or so, we know we got a problem. Don't think that's the most likely scenario.
Did y'all hear that? We have to see this thing soon. He said around Thanksgiving we should be able to see it. If we don't, that means it's reversing its thrust and it's headed towards us. That's what that means. They're waiting to see this thing, guys. They're waiting now. Because if they don't see it, that means it's headed towards us. And I think it is headed towards us. I think so. Let me show you again what I mean. You see it right there? So it can continue in this trajectory like that. That's fine. If it reverse thrust, it's going to move towards its left. It has to do it significantly move towards its left, and it'll line up with Earth. If this thing is intelligent, it knows exactly what it's doing. Exactly. Precisely. But we don't have to worry. I mean, we don't have to worry about it hitting us, especially if it's alien tech, because they got it. They know what they're doing. We just don't know what the fuck we're doing. They know what they're doing though. But guys, it's somebody has already said already. Damn, and it's 444 when I'm saying this right now on the East Coast. Now it just went to 445. Just let me know. All right. Yeah. This thing is not operating like a comet. It's not. Guys, you know, I've been on this thing every single day. I just didn't go live on every day for people don't think I'm crazy. But I've been on this thing every single day. We need to see this thing before Thanksgiving or around Thanksgiving. We have to see it. We have to. If not, it don't redirect it. Either it's going to go to Jupiter, which is a likely spot because of the moon. One of Jupiter's moons has a magnetic field, or it could go to us. So this thing is, guys, this thing, it's an estimate that this thing weighs 93 trillion tons. Do y'all hear me? 93 guys, 93 what the hell weighs that much? 93 trillion tons. 93 trillion. What's up, Chris Cole? With 93 trillion tons? What is this damn thing? You said the bigger threat is underwater, big dog. Oh, that's another thing. Something going on right now underwater. These guys were on a boat fishing and light came up from underwater. Now, what I think that was, you know what I think that was? I don't know if y'all saw that recent video. I think that was a submarine. They just happened to have a submarine under them because it emits that kind of light if it decides to. But the submarine saw them though. No, I'm not no astronomer, but I've been on this thing every single day. I learned a lot though since I've been watching this. I've learned a lot. What's up, T Breeze? I learned a lot. What's up, Carol S? I learned a lot. Okay. I'm gonna tell you the stuff that I'm talking now. I didn't know this before I got into this. I didn't know none of this stuff. None of it. I think I slept in that class. What's up, Sean? Family. What's up, Brock Williams? What's up, D Rock? What's up, Jake from State? I haven't seen you in a while, Jake from State Farm. What's going on with you? Yeah. I didn't know any of this stuff. This is crazy. I'm telling you guys, this is if you go down the rabbit hole with this, you're gonna be like, what the fuck? We might think everything going on is a distraction. This guy here, he's perplexed. He don't know what this thing is doing. If he don't know what it's doing, I'm a little worried. If he don't know. What you mean it's not a comet? He said it's not a comet. Okay, well, it's an asteroid then. He said it's not an asteroid. Okay, so what is it? He just said it's an interstellar object. Oh my God.
But regardless, it's certainly a possibility that could happen. Now, if we go back to our perihelion here, we see that it has this trajectory cutting through the orbit of Jupiter. It will be slightly below the ecliptic plane there, unless again it redirects that. But let's go forward now, and we'll just hit play, and we'll see that it is fairly close to intersecting Jupiter. It would just have to accelerate slightly at the perihelion to perform that over-Earth maneuver to actually then deflect a little bit further out and reach Jupiter, which is where you have the moons Ganymede, Callisto, Europa, perfect places for colonization if you're interested in doing that. But here's where things get most interesting in my mind, okay? So we are right here set for January 1st, and you'll notice that we start to have this alignment between the planets, right? All the inner planets and Jupiter, which is the big heavyweight in our solar system. Let's go forward to the 9th of January and look at how that alignment really gets precise at that.
Oh, they got to stop playing with me. This thing is headed towards us. Look, look, look. And it's all in alignment. Look at it. Oh my God. This thing is headed towards us, man. I don't care what they say. And if it's headed towards us, please let it be a ship. Please. Please let it be a ship. Or let it do like a close flyby. If that thing do a close flyby, I promise you everybody gonna see it. Whether it's cloudy outside, it don't matter. You're gonna hear it. One way or the other. Now, they seem to think that this thing is like a disk. It originated from the galactic belt, from our solar system, from our galaxy. I don't think so. It could be, but they only theorizing that. But my thing is, they trying to like gaslight us. What you mean is spraying out water, and then it started like pulsating every 17 minutes on the dot. They're contacting us. They're letting us know. Every 17 minutes on the dot, guys, it was doing that. And then it started going blinking 110 112 That's Morse code. That's binary too. That's what that is. I don't care what they say. This thing is, yeah, man. It has its eyes on us. I already know. They can't tell me no different.
Time. We have Mars, Venus, Mercury, Sun, Earth, Jupiter, and 3i Atlas is pretty close to that alignment. As you see, we really zoom out and it's pretty darn close. At least it's there, whereas if 3i Atlas didn't fly into our solar system, it wouldn't be there at all. So that's really how I'm looking at this. It's pretty well participating in it, and it's right basically on the ecliptic plane at that moment in time as well. You don't get these sort of planetary alignments all that often. That is quite rare. We've been talking about this for more than a year on and off on the channel, and this looks very, very significant because just of how you get those aligned gravitational vectors and also how that alters the electromagnetic circuit, you could say, of the entire solar system. In addition to that, you have other alignments as well. For example, here we see Uranus and also Sedna. Sedna nearly at its perihelion. It goes out to nearly 1,000 astronomical units, and its perihelion is 2076. Uranus is also in this heliocentric alignment with Sedna, and because this is early 2026, you'll notice that we have nearly a perfect alignment between Saturn and Neptune because they are performing their great conjunction in late February of 2026. So you have that alignment as well. So there's a lot happening here. There's one more alignment to check out here as well, and that is the alignment between 3i Atlas and Pluto. So you have this grouping of the planets because they're all close to the sun, and 3i Atlas makes this line going there for Pluto. So there is some really significant planetary geometry that is active at the beginning of 2026, specifically around the 4th of January through about the 12th or so, that first 15 days. And 3i Atlas is participating in that very clearly. Let's check out our sky map for this alignment, because then it gets even crazier. So here we have our application solar system scope, which allows us to see the planets, the geometry, everything like just like the sky live, but it also adds in the constellations, the asteroid belt, and a few other things. So this is a really useful tool. This is linked on the Earth Evolution website, www. So here we see that Jupiter there is at the end of Gemini, starting to get close to Cancer. It's at the end of Gemini. What's opposite Gemini? It's Sagittarius. And oh wait, isn't that like where 3i Atlas flew out of? Yes, that is. Here we have the constellation.
Oh man, this thing is participating in the alignment. It's actually interacting with the alignment. It's going to align with all of us. When all the planets align up, it's going to align with everything. It's almost like it's taking a snapshot of everything. You know, this is either two things. Either this is a damn ship or this is a probe. Or they sent it's not manned. It's like they controlling it from somewhere. But if I'm a betting man, it's manned. If I'm a betting man, then we'll find out that they've been lying to us all this time about aliens. They've been straight up lying, and we about to find out.
Of Sagittarius. And we see this alignment here basically is perfect as to where 3i Atlas first flew in. And we also see Pluto there at the very beginning of Capricorn. 3i Atlas flew in right from this zone right there. We can look at our
Oh damn, I ain't had no sound. Guys, this thing is interacting with us. It's interacting with the alignment. This thing came from where we received a wild signal in 1976. That's where this thing originated from. And this guy said to me a long time ago, I never forget. He said, you know, he just randomly said this to me. He said, you know, there's an intergalactic senate. I said, that sounds good. I said, really? He said, I'm serious. He said, there's an intergalactic senate and they sent us a signal. He said, back when you were a kid, we got sent the signal. They let us know that we're being watched. And I said, what? He said, you got to research it. He said, there was a signal sent to us and they sent it. It was a radio signal. And he said, for them to be able to send that signal to us, they had to have something very massive to send it for us to get it. And he said that they sent it to us. And then he said the powers that be, they didn't let us know about it, but they printed in small print in the paper saying that there was a signal sent, and they nicknamed it the wow signal. But they never really reported on it on the news. And that let them know for the first time there's life out there. But we've been visited before. But this is the Senate. This is the governing body. These people are coming for some act right. Like if they are coming, the powers that be about to get some act right because he said it's going to come a time. I said, well, if these people been watching us, what about slavery and all this stuff? How come they ain't do shit? He said, oh, they going to do something. He said, oh, no. He said, they going to do something about it. He said, they going to do something about it. He said, just be patient. And he said, it's going to happen in my lifetime. He said this. He said, they are coming. And he said, they might be on their way now. He told me that. And he told me this back in 2000. In 2000, when he told me this. He told me this in 2000. And I was like, well, shit, when you think they're going to pull up? He said another 20 years. I promise you, he said that. And I'm like, how do you know this? I was like, how do you know this? He was like, there's a lot of people out here that know it. It's the best kept secret. He said, they are coming for some act right. They're coming. He said, they are coming for some act right. He said, they gave us free will here. They left us here. And some people didn't do right. He said, they get ready to get some act right. And he said also, there would never be another nuclear bomb ever again. Ever again. They won't allow it. And I don't know. How do you know it's just a rock? You don't know if it's just a rock yet. You don't know that. Now, if it's just a rock, then it's just a rock. But you don't know that. You don't know if it's just, we call it an interstellar object. We don't know if it's just a rock. If it is just a rock, it's a big ass rock. I tell you that much. It's a big ass rock. 93 trillion tons. They saying it estimated to be weight. I don't know how they would know that. Now, my question to you: how do you know it's just a rock? You just come in here just to be talking. You don't know. You sitting in your underwear. You sitting in your underwear talking, just wanting to be seen. You don't know if it's a rock. If it is a rock, it's a rock, but it's not behaving like a asteroid. So you need to put some shorts on. So you've been sitting there all day in your underwear, wanting to come up in here and say something. Okay. No, he just wanna be sane. That's all. I hope you better hope. Let me tell you something for people like you better hope it is a rock. You better hope so. You better hope it is a rock because I want you motherfuckers to suffer. Oh, yes. Yeah, oh, yes. I want you guys to get some act right. And finally, I want y'all to get some motherfucking act right. I want y'all to get some act right. You better hope I don't get diagnosed with nothing terminal. I'm gonna give you some of you motherfuckers some act right before I leave here. Let me stop. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You heard me? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So let's continue.
Solarium view to see exactly where 3i Atlas flew in, and we see that this alignment is effectively cutting right to that zone, and Pluto is also very close to it. So not only do we have 3i Atlas participating in this historic planetary alignment here, Jupiter and Earth on one side, Jupiter being the big heavyweight, Earth being the most massive planet in the inner solar system, having a magnetic field, Jupiter having the strongest magnetic field. On the other side, you get Mercury.
Boy, if these aliens turn out to be black aliens and they come here, I'm gonna hit the floor. because these people are gonna melt. They're gonna straight melt, yo. They gonna straight melt, and I might run outside butt ass naked. I'll be so happy. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But y'all need to laugh. Don't y'all need a laugh? Um, we need a laugh of some sort. You heard me? I said I go outside butt ass naked. I'm so happy. No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I would scare off the aliens. They'd be like, "What is going on here? What is this guy doing? This guy is so happy to see us. He's oiled himself up." You heard me? Oil myself up? No, I'm just kidding. Come on, we need a laugh, yo. We need a laugh. We need a laugh. Don't act like you don't need a laugh. Okay, all the stuff that's going on in this world, and they getting ready to cut the benefits off. Now, some people, you might say to yourself, this ain't gonna bother me, right? Guys, it could affect you, especially if these people start wilding out. You feel me? So you just gotta be careful. You gotta be careful because they talking about, and you know who keep denying it, the Democrats on the Democratic side. They keep denying the open government. They keep voting no on it because they want Trump to look bad so they can win the next election. Guys, it's not happening. They're not winning the next election. Now, Kamala Harris talking about she gonna run again. Trust me, she's not winning. She's not winning. Vance is gonna beat her. She's not beating Vance. She's not beating him. And it's not him. The reason why the government is shut down is not Trump. They're voting no on opening it. Do you guys watch C-SPAN? Anybody in here watch C-SPAN? Just go look. They're voting no on everything, but everybody seems to think it's Trump because people don't do their research with all these cell phones we got out here. And look, now we got Chat GPT. Why don't you just go ask Chat GPT while the government's still shut down? But nobody won't do it. What's the update? The update is 3i Atlas today is reaching its perihelion, its closest approach to the sun. And they want to know, what is it going to do? If this thing redirects, we know it's a spaceship. If it redirects. But like somebody just came up in here and said, it's just a rock. Well, y'all better hope so. Y'all better hope it's just a rock, because y'all been doing the most down here. Y'all better hope it's a rock. You better hope so. Because I'll be the first one pointing you asses out to them. Yeah, get him, and him. Get them all. And you better hope they don't put me in charge of nothing, because I'm coming after y'all. I sure am. Oh, yes. Could you imagine that? I get like some type of like meeting with them. Oh, yeah, I'm coming for all these. I'm coming for all of them. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I'm going to a certain country too. Oh, yeah, I'm going straight there. Oh, yes. But I'm just kidding. Y'all just need a laugh, man. Come on. The same year as the wild signal, that's where it's coming from. That's where this thing originated from. Yeah, you had to get a chuckle, Chris, which comes from Sagittarius. Right. Which is where they say the Senate is located, the intergalactic Senate. You said, yep, him. You can see me doing it, right, Sean? Yep, I'm snitching. I'm snitching on humanity. I'm snitching. And I was like, yo, by the way, y'all let Diddy out real quick. You want us to go get Diddy? Yeah, let him out, man. Let me go get him, man. You heard me? Let me go get him. Diddy, we getting you out, man. We getting you out. We getting you out. That's for sure. I'm gonna have to let Kels out too. You heard me? Can y'all let Kels out? Let me go get Kels too. Yeah, man. Let's see what else he's saying. But yeah, I mean, he's right. It could be just a rock. It could be. But look, if it's a rock, please don't redirect to us, though. Please don't. Please don't redirect to us. Please. Please do not.
Mercury, Venus, and Mars, all of them adding their way together. You also have 3i Atlas fairly close by in the asteroid belt, pretty much in alignment with this. And you have this alignment in that same vector direction.
All right, let me just show you this real quick. This thing just went right through the asteroid belt. You see the asteroid belt is right there. See all them fragments? That's the asteroid belt. It went right through the asteroid belt and then hit nothing. Nothing. It just went right through the asteroid belt, man. Okay? Fuck the asteroid belt. It went right through it. Then hit nothing. There's billions upon billions of fragments in the asteroid belt. Then hit nothing. It just went right on in. Here we come. That thing, see where the sun is? Just draw a line from the sun and keep going all the way out. That's where it originated from. Out there in the darkness, interstellar space. And it coming straight towards us. Come on, man. That's not, I don't know. I don't know if that's a rock. I don't know. I don't know. But everybody's on high alert, though.
Direction of where 3i Atlas originally flew in from, and Pluto also about as close to that original vector as 3i Atlas originally flew in from. And then that's where the WOW signal came from, and that's also the center of our Milky Way galaxy, where you have the
Stop playing with me, man. It came from the WOW signal. The center of the Milky Way galaxy. That's where the intergalactic federation is. That's what I know. I sound crazy, but this is what this guy told me. He said there's an intergalactic federation is in the center of the Milky Way, and they're watching us. And they're comprised of some are human. He said some look just like us. They look and they mad because we're the only entities left in the universe that are at war with each other still. That's what he told me. And they mad about it. Eventually they're gonna come back. Eventually, that's what he told me. Eventually they're gonna come back and somebody gotta get some act right. And like I said, if don't let me team up with them because somebody gotta get some act right. I'm like, yeah, first of all, they ain't do no apology, no nothing. Okay, they sitting up here keep playing in our face, charging us for everything, charging us for education, just doing the most out here on this rock. Okay, Max, will you join us? Damn right, I'm joining you. What is your first request? We're gonna have to get a few people out. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Let me stop, man. And you know what he told me? He said at death, there's a couple things that will happen to your soul. Either it's gonna stay on this planet and come back and rehatch into another body, or it'll go back home to the Senate. It'll go back home. And you just wake up like you never left. That's what he told me. We're here on a mission. We're like the workers of the universe. We're the workers. We're here on assignment. And we're travelers. That's why you hear the old Masonic hymn. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. That's an old Masonic hymn. That's not written for kids. There's a lot of people that know that. So it's either two things gonna happen to us. Either we're gonna stay right here and go right into another host, which is a body, because this is our host. This is what keeps us here, stuck to this planet. Or we're gonna go back, and then we might come back, one way or the other. That's what was told to me. And then I had this homeless guy tell me this. This in the 90s. I learned how to play chess from him. He said, do you know there's books out there? He said, do you agree? And I had said to him, I said, sir, I don't mean to be offensive or anything. Like, why are you homeless? He was like, he just kind of looked down and he looked at me. He was like, because he was in the war. I said, say less. I didn't want him to explain himself. He just said he was in Vietnam. I said, no, say less. He said, okay. And he just kind of like had tears in his eyes. I was like, fuck, I shouldn't have asked him that. And because I remember what my dad said. He said, okay, let me just say this real quick. I'll tell you this kind of side story. So he said in Vietnam, they were giving out allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly, they were allegedly giving out drugs like it was candy, heroin, everything. And a lot of people got addicted to it. And he was like, nah, I'm not doing this. He did weed a little bit, but he's not doing that. Because he said when they come back and they find out that you've been addicted to that stuff, they will kick you out and you lose your benefits. So a lot of people, they lost their benefits over that. They lost their benefits. Okay. They lost their benefits over it. And I didn't know that. I said, yo, do you think they put that there on purpose? He said, yeah, they did. He said they needed something to give to the people because some people needed an escape and weed wasn't strong enough. But he said he knew. Is it a true story? I'm not sure. I'm just going. I'm going off what he said. And I was young when he was telling me, so the story is a little fragmented. So if you know what I'm talking about, just tell me. But he said that when he came back home, his buddy was like, "Yo, they put that stuff there on purpose because all these people they're gonna lose their benefits. That's why you have a lot of homeless people now that was in the service. They ain't got no benefits because they may have came back addicted to something. So that's what happened, right? So he said that happened like on purpose, he think. Just like everybody, if you went to Vietnam, now look, this is allegedly, everybody now I don't know if I should tell you all this. I don't know if I should tell you. Because a lot of y'all don't know this. But you're gonna go Google it. Let me think about this. Because I don't think a lot of people know this. Uh okay, let me just tell you this. Yeah, they used it. They used it then in World War II as well, Vito Rose. But what happened was people that came back, not everybody, but certain people, they lost their benefits. And my dad came back. He went to, they checked him over. He was clean. They said, you ain't do nothing when you was over there. That's what they said. He like, nope. He said, no marijuana, nothing. He said, nope. He said, all right, congratulations. Welcome home. He shook his hand. And he said, you doing another tour? He said, no, I did too many. He said, I understand. He said, you don't have to do any more. And like I said, the story is fragmented because I only remember so much because I was young when he told me this. And I'm just thinking he telling me war stories. So I just thought it was like kind of like just somebody telling me stories when I was a kid. Like, because my friends, we used to like, when he started drinking, because he had drinking, he started drinking, he started telling us stories, and we used to want to hear his stories. Like, ooh, tell us a nice story today. We didn't think it was real. We just thought he was telling us a story. And the sad part about it is I never got a chance to talk to him about it as an adult because he passed when I was after I graduated 8th grade. So the memories that I have is off the stories that he have. It's kind of fucked up to say that, right? That's the only memories I have of his time over there. It's through the stories he used to tell me. And I have written all the stories down now and did my research, and all them motherfucking stories is true. All of them. And I remember when I was little, he used to tell me, yeah, we used to fight that motherfucking bush. But when we was a kid, we thought the bush was like real. Like it was like a mythological bush. Like, like the fiery bush. He was like, yeah, it was fight that bush. And and it wasn't until I got older that I knew what the bush was. Oh man, it's like I wish I could have like talked to him more, like as an adult, but I don't have that chance. But he said, all right, this is what I'm gonna tell you. I shouldn't be saying this, but I'm gonna say it like this and you'll figure it out. He said everybody that went in with him, they caught something. Everybody. And he said how we caught it is because when they put us in line to do our what they call it? Physicals. He said on the right side they had somebody jabbing you with a needle, and on the left side they had somebody jabbing you with a needle. And they were using the same needles on everybody. So you can put two and two together on what everybody caught. It began with an H. Everybody caught it. Everybody. Everybody caught it. Everybody. Everybody. White, black, Chinese, whatever you identify yourself as. Everybody caught it. Yes, Bunyan. Everybody. A lot of people don't know about it. A lot of people don't know about it. But if you have a grandfather, he's sick, I need you to go get him tested for that, right? And tell the doctor I need to know how long he's had it in his body. Listen to me. Listen to me real quick. I want you to tell a doctor how long you think he had in his body. The doctor will be able to tell you and go sue. You have a lawsuit. They'll settle with you. Remember, I said it. Because that will ensure that your granny will get benefits, medical benefits, so she won't have to rely on Medicaid. Okay? Remember, I said it. It's fucked up, isn't it? And some of them, some of them, they passed because the Bush that he was talking about, and this is what he told me. And like I said, I don't know the whole story because he told me in story form. He said they had to spray the bush with some orange shit so that we could see clearer. And now I'm dying from it. That's what he told me. That's the memory I have, bro. And that fucked me up to this day. I'm fucked up over it to this day. To this day. That's the story that I have to this day. And I thought he was lying. I'm like, as a kid, what orange shit is he talking about? He didn't say Agent Orange. He said orange shit. So that fucked me up, man. That kind of scarred me for the rest of my life. Because the reason why it scarred me because after his death, I found out as an adult what it meant. I remember one time I was in college because I went back to college late, and I was sitting in first I was in county college, and I had a really good history professor in the county college. I graduated from the county college and went on to the 4 year. And when I was in the county college, she was talking about the Agent Orange. That's when I first found out about it. Now, that's not the first time I found out about it. I found out about it during a documentary, but it didn't put two and two to me until I was sitting there in class and she said it and it killed a lot of people. I broke down and started crying. I'm talking about screaming, crying. And she had to stop the class. She said, "Come here. What's wrong? What did I do to trigger you?" And I told her the story. She said, "Oh my God." She held me for a minute. She said, "I'm sorry." She said, you didn't know." And she said, she said, she said, my sister was the same way because my teachers, she's a lot older than me. She was she was the product of people that her dad was in World War II. So her sister had the same delayed reaction I had. That's how she knew what it was. Because her dad used to tell them stories because they didn't want to tell the kids what really happened. So they used to tell us in story form. And the same thing happened with her sister. Because she was a little older than her sister. She knew exactly what her dad went through. And I broke down. I said, that's what killed him. And she just everybody's like, bro, you all right? They said, you didn't know that? I said, no, it just hit me now. That's what happened. It's just hitting me now. So that's what happened. So he told it in story form. So I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like my friends like, yo, he be tripping sometime. I said, I know. He be tripping. And then I'm sorry that my condolences to the breeze, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I was like, dog, I was like thinking about it here recently. I said, then what else they ain't tell us about? There's a lot of stuff they ain't tell us about. So then, like I said, I be looking at these like storylines, like with Three Eye Atlas, with like it could be just a rock, it could be, but they lied to us about a lot of things. So I'm like, what else are they lying to us about? That's all I'm coming from. So I'm coming from that perspective. I like to keep my eyes open to everything because, like I said, I wish I could have talked to him. I'm like, these stories are motherfucking real. They were real. They were real. And he had a mark on his shoulder, like where his chest is, where his chest meet his shoulder, right in that area. He had a round spot there. He never told me what it was. He got shot. He never told me. And I found out at the funeral because he had a purple heart on his casket. That's how I found out. Jesus Christ. I was like, what the fuck? My mother knew. I never knew. I never known it. And that's the reason why he came home because he got shot. They like he's done now. He's done. Like he could have went back, but he's done. So yeah. So I'm like, if they hide all this stuff, what else are they fucking hiding? You know what I mean? Because they hid a lot of stuff in those wars. Check this out. And I found this out like in a history class. That war was a ceasefire. Nobody won that war. Nobody officially won. It was a ceasefire. That's it. All that money was spent over a ceasefire. All those people that lives were lost. So yeah, so I'm like, what else are these people? They gotta be hiding a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm sure they are. I'm sure there's certain things that they don't want to tell us, and a matter of national security. I get that. I do. I totally do. I mean, certain information and maybe it's certain stuff we don't need to know. Yeah, certain stuff we don't need to know. Yeah, a delayed ceasefire. It is, and it's all politics, and it's all taken up in Congress. Your grandfather served in World War I. That was a hard war, man. That's hard. That was a hard one. For them to make it back, they lucky. For them to make it back home. Saving Private Ryan was legit. That was legit Southern Breeze. I've heard a lot of um old we call them old timers, but they like to be called old timers, man. I look, guys, let me tell you a story about the old timers real quick. So my godfather, He served in Korean War, but he used to reenact the railroad. You know how the guys used to work in the railroad in the South? He used to go around reenacting that. And all the old timers, some of them served in World War One, World War Two. They're all past now. I used to sit around and talk to them, and they used to tell me like, "Yeah, man, they put us out there, man." And then they all laugh. He said, "Yeah, we made it back." And then they used to joke with each other. He said, "Man, you were communications." He said, "Man, you were a nurse." They used to joke with each other. And there's this one guy, he was silent. He really went through it. And I remember he was telling me, he said Saving Private Ryan was legit. He said it was legit. He wasn't on the one where they first entered the beach. He wasn't in that infantry. He was like towards the end. But he said those people, that was a kamikaze mission. But he said, "Hey man, I got drafted. It's either that or jail." That's what he told me. And he said, "I came home with some memories and I bought a house, got married." That's what he told me. Yeah, he told me that. But they all was like, one thing I noticed about them, they all were proud to serve though. They all were. They were proud of it. But he was telling me, he said when I was younger, not so much. But as I got old, he said I was proud of it. He said, when we was young, no, we felt like we shouldn't have been over there. But yeah, man, Marine World War II, he's the reason why they got that statue. I don't really have a book. I mean, I think say everybody have a book in them, but I mean, I could write a book about his stories because I wrote them down. And he was, oh yeah, my mother, yeah, she know, my mother knew a lot of shit. She said, "Oh yeah, yeah, this happened, this, and that." I said, "What?" I didn't even know my mother played soccer. She said, "Yeah, I played soccer." And I'm like, no fucking wonder reason why I like it. You never told me you played soccer. She said, "You never asked." She said, but all her medals and trophies and stuff was lost at when she was a kid. But she said, "Yeah, his crazy ass came home and I got with him. And then you came along." She said, "His crazy ass." That's what she said to him. She said you talking about PTSD. She said he didn't really act out his PTSD. She said he acted out in stories and he was not afraid of anything. She said he lost his ability to be afraid, meaning that you were what they call it. You've been subjected to so much stuff. You've been desensitized. That's what it is. You've been desensitized. So you know what I'm saying? He just been desensitized. And she said his ass was crazy. So, and I just think I'm like, shit, you will lose your mind going over there like that. Especially if you had to do any type of combat or anything or witness it. You have to go through something. He didn't call it the stare. He called it battle fatigue. Wasn't the stare, but that's what it is. It's 1,000-yard stare, aka the battle fatigue, aka PTSD. Yeah, you can still write a book or two. Sea Breeze, write a book. But yes, older people, they carry the history with them, and you must pick their brains because when they get older, they're willing to talk more. Like my mother, I just go in there now and like just what happened this time? This time she'll tell me. And let me tell you, she told me a story about Bill Cosby. My mother, when she first came up to New York City, she was a model. My mother's 5'11". So she was into modeling and stuff, pictorials and all that stuff, right? Runway, some runway stuff, this and that. And she went to a party one time, her and her friends and stuff. And she told me, she said, I do not like this motherfucker. I don't like him. She never cursed. She said, I don't like this dude, yo. Even when the Cosby Show, she liked the Cosby Show, but she said he got another side to him. She told me this. She said he an evil motherfucker. She said he's like the ones that hired him. She said he took on the evil spirit of the people that hired him. Okay. And I was like, really? I said, Bill, she said, eventually it's gonna come out. She said, eventually what he did is gonna come out. She said, he ain't do nothing to me, but he did some people I know. She said that. She said, eventually his ass is gonna get got. Eventually. She said, God gonna deal with him. She said, because he thought he was like one of them folks. That's how she said it. He thought he was like one of them folks. I don't know what she mean, but what you mean one of them folks? That's what she said. She said he think he like one of them folks, child. That's how she said it to me, child. She said he was a mess. She said it went, yeah, fame went to his head. Yeah, in-laws work for Cosby say he was never pleasant. It's crazy. But he was known as America's dad. But see, the thing is, he got caught up in the lifestyle. He used to go to Playboy Mansion, everything, Bill Cosby. Him and Jim Brown. You know how Jim Brown was all for like civil rights, stuff like that. His ass was wild out at the Playboy Mansion too. And Wilt Chamberlain. All of them. And Andre the Giant. All of them. All of them. I know I should record it. But the thing is, if something happened to it, I could never listen to it again. It'll kill me. But she holds on to the old knowledge because she be telling me. And sometimes she'll just start talking it and saying it. But really, what I do, I just start asking her questions. So, what happened back in 1969? I said, tell me the day what happened when King died. She said, Lord, a child. She said, I was in school at the time. She said, and it came over the radio that he passed away, and then they all went home early. That's what she said. And she told me about the train station in North Carolina that used to be segregated. She said they had white only where you wait at and black only where you wait at. I said, well, what happened? Was there a middle? She said, yeah, everybody convened in the middle. But you got a white only side and a black only side. You remember when King died, Southern Breeze? What grade were you in? No, don't tell me because then I'm gonna age you. You don't have to tell me. But yeah, different things like that I wanted to know. How about when Kennedy died? Like, tell me about that and tell me about this. Oh, let me tell you where we were when John Lennon died. We were in Central Park when he got shot. We were in Central Park. And I said to her, what the fuck are we doing in Central Park? She said, I just took you out there. We were just walking through. And she said around the time he got shot, no, we were in Central Park early that day. We weren't in Central Park when he got shot. Oh, you in your 60s? Okay, so you will remember. Yeah, she said we weren't in the park when he got shot, but we were around there earlier that day. And she said you too young to remember, but she said that was a whole big thing when he got shot. And I just recently did a video, well, not recently, a few years ago. I did a video at the site he got shot at. It's crazy. And the guy was gonna target somebody else too that day. I forget the dude's name. He was acting on Broadway. Was Mayor Koch in office at the time? Okay. Yeah, Mayor Koch. I remember Mayor Koch, Ed Koch. Yeah, you remember that? Bunyan? Okay. Yeah, Mayor Ed Koch. Damn, you remember that. Okay. You must be from New York or somewhere for you to remember that name. A lot of people don't remember that name. Yep, Mayor Ed Koch. Then David Dinkins. Then you had David Dinkins. Then Koch, Dinkins, Giuliani. Then Giuliani. Giuliani. He did pretty good during 9/11. The way he handled it and everything like that. He'll always be known for that right there, or how he conducted himself and really got things in order during 9/11. What's up, Ryan? But yeah, that was New York was a different time back then. New York was oh my God, it's not like it is now. You remember going through Harlem, how messed up it was? All the dilapidated buildings and things are run down. It's not like that no more. Going through certain parts of the Bronx the same way, because my grandma lived in the Bronx. The burned down buildings, because they haven't they haven't recovered. They stayed burned down since the riots. Remember the riots in the 60s? So they were burned down ever since then. They just never really redid anything. But now you go through there, everything is totally different. Totally different. Chicago, I could imagine too. Yeah. Oh my God, Harlem. Oh man, it's like night and day. And don't get me wrong, there's still certain areas is dangerous now. But for the most part, hey, you can go to 125th whenever. But anyway, guys, this uh what do you call it, as we call it, interstellar object 3i Atlas is making its perihelium today, the closest approach to the sun, and we'll figure out what it'll do after that. But unfortunately today it was the sun wasn't out. We still wouldn't see anything anyway. Even if the sun was out, we wouldn't be able to see anything. But it's just that it's making its closest approach to the sun, and it's just really, for us, it's like really gray out today. Um, but more than, I mean, if it is just a comet, it's just gonna pass through. Well, it's supposed to just be passing through us anyway, and just going out into never to return. 'So, you know, but other than that, that was the big news today. Um, it's funny though, because the scientists, they don't know what it is. They don't know. That's what's funny about it. 15 media. What is that? Rock and Wills. What is that? Let me see. Um, but yeah, that's what's happening now. That would be funny if it turned up looking like that picture right there that I have. That that trust me, the internet will break because everybody will be going viral, especially people that get pictures of it. Everybody be going viral that day. I told y'all I'll be outside. I'm like, guys, it's pretty much a floating city over our head right now. A floating city. Yeah, with clothes on too, for sure. For sure. No oil. He said, I wish it would really land on Earth. That'd be crazy. Okay, so Sean, the guy that shot the lady, let me see what's happening. Let me see. Okay, that was the officer that shot the lady. He was in her house and he said I'll shoot you. And next thing you know, he shot her. So he got second degree murder. So he facing probably 4 to 20 years, which he only gonna get 4. So that's over. I'm watching another trial. It's involving this former rapper. He passed away. This young lady is on trial. His name is Julio Fulio. She's on the trial for the death of Julio Fulio, setting it up. And I'm watching that. I haven't been covering it during the day, but I'm watching it to see if they find her guilty or not. And she seemed to did not like Fulio. She did not like him. I'm thinking that he may have killed somebody she was close to. And some people in the comments are saying, why did she hate him so much? I say he may have been a part of a murder of somebody she was close to. And he made a rap song making fun of somebody that died. So that could have been somebody she knew. She did not like him, for sure. I don't know if she set him up, but we'll find out. Crazy, crazy case, guys. Crazy. These people are demonic. Who makes a song making fun of people dying? And he made the video at the funeral. He made the video at the cemetery. Like, who does that? Oh, you said your mom said she had to walk 3 miles to school and back every day. They go crow. There you go again. He said it's a rock. Stop scaring people. Well, how do you know it's a rock? He said it's a rock. Stop scaring. He must be drinking or something. He he'll come by every like hour to say it's a rock. And I'm asking him how you know it's a rock. Then he won't say nothing. He'll be back in like If I'm on another hour, he'll be back. Now, we're not scared either. We're just curious. Nobody's scared. We just want to know why NASA is not talking about it. I know the government shut down. I know, but he'll be back a little later. He's not gonna say nothing else. He's just saying it's a rock. Stop scaring people. He probably drinking, tasting right now, having a good time. You see what I'm saying? He found him a nice live chat to where he could talk and we respond to him. That's all. He feeling himself tonight. He got him a little Budweiser. I'm just envisioning him right now, have a little Budweiser in his hand, cigarette. But hopefully it's just a rock. Just headed out. That's the best bet. It's just a rock. And then it's just heading out of our solar system and keep on going about its business. That's it. Because we had other comments that just made their perihelion as well, not too long ago. We had one that came close to Earth, but I couldn't see it because it was really it's cloudy out. It was two of them at the same time. So I missed those two. And here we got another one. It's a couple of other ones out there too. Yeah, there's a couple of other ones, but this one I'm really want to know what's up with here. This particular one. This is the one that, they said it's been doing different things and it's not acting like a normal comet or asteroid. And it says it's like emitting metals it said it's one metal like that it's emitting by itself that it's not possible to be naturally made. It's not possible. I'm like, okay, all right. And then somebody said, well, here's another theory. It could be space junk from another galaxy that just happened to float our way. Said that could be it too. Well, he's sure of it, Shrine. He's sure that it's just a rock. He ain't gonna say nothing else. Give him about an hour. He'll come back, guys. It's just a rock. Stop scaring people. Then you take off again. But it did form a tail and different things like that. So this could be a big ass comet. You said it's not just a rock. That's hilarious. He said just a rock. It's just a rock, people. That's a big ass rock, though. 93, they said roughly about 93 trillion tons. That is a big rock. Hope it don't hit us. We won't know anyway. He said they just prepping us for when 3-Eye Atlas appear out of nowhere. Yo, whew. See, I need to be prepared first. I don't want it to just appear out of nowhere. You see what I'm saying? I need to be prepped first. Like, okay, it's getting closer and closer. It's a spaceship, but it's getting closer and closer. I need something like that. I don't need to just wake up one day, my phone going ringing off the hook, and I look outside, it's a whole damn city on the top of my head. That's how big it is. Now I'm a freak out. I would go live though. I'll go live for the freak out. Oh man, y'all be like, yo, everybody be like, you okay? It's right over your head. I'm like, I see it. Then I go outside, accept my fate, see what happens. Because they'll tell everybody don't go outside. I'm going outside, period. B lady, you say you've been listening, working in the kitchen. Hello, hello. You said, what if China Russia tries to shoot at it? Oh boy. It ain't gonna be good. Nigga, they ain't worried about all that. Because there was some type of anomaly flying that they tried to shoot down, and it did nothing to it. So they letting us know that stuff is around here now. They letting us know. I think it was a orb or something they shot at, and it did nothing to it. It just kept going. It just bounced off. You said, yeah, it's definitely affected by the sun. The sun is throwing flares at it. Comments. Yeah, it is. You said if it's aliens, where would they land? Straight in the desert, probably. That's what I would think. If it's big like that, I would say go to the desert. I don't know. I say that thing land right over here, somewhere. Let me stop. It won't land. It'll probably go. If it will, it'll be the desert, maybe, because it's big. If it's that big, if it's the size of Manhattan, it would have to land somewhere else, out west. Then everybody start freaking out. Like, oh my God, it just landed. You said it won't land, it will crash. I put Brian, if it crash, we done. Yo, Brian, if it crash, we done. We done. We're done. And don't let it crash in the water because everybody be underwater. We'll be done. We'll be done. That'll be it. You know? He said back to the Stone Age. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, I don't know. Let's see what else Steven talking about.
Majority of the gravity and also energy contained within the entire galaxy. So there's just a lot of little clues and hints here that this is a very, very significant alignment. If we just talk about the archetypal influences here for a moment, Sagittarius is all about exploration, adventure, free will, and also higher education, learning, faith, and more. And then we have Gemini here being connected to technology and being connected to also learning, but from a more analytical standpoint. So we have this influence of 3i Atlas and the planets also aligning with where are we going from a deeper spiritual level, and how is perhaps technology, AI, and the digital revolution that we're in right now going to assist us with that, or perhaps also hold us back from that. That is one interpretation you can make based off of the archetypal influences. But we also see crazy alignments like this during key events. I'll just highlight one of them. The most significant, I would say, would be the Carrington event. So that was a big solar storm. Around September 3rd, 1859, all those flares came in early September. And well, look at this. We have Earth, Mercury, Sun, Venus, Mars, Saturn. So this time it's Saturn, not Jupiter, and it's not a perfect line. It's a little bit of a bent line. This is a sacred geometry still, though. Those of you who know will know. And you can even kind of curve this out too if you include Ceres and Neptune going like this. So really incredible planetary geometry that was active for the Carrington event, which was the strongest solar storm impact we have ever recorded or observed. There have been some other strong ones as discussed on the channel. 1872, 1921, 1972. We had some near misses with this solar cycle, also back in 2012. There's probably others that we were unaware of with our modern technology. Now we can really capture these events from the far side and the limbs of the sun. But this alignment perfectly coincides with the known strongest solar impact in recorded history. And we have a very similar one coming up in the beginning of 2026, right before that great conjunction of Saturn and Neptune, late February of 2026. So the big question right now is, what is 3i Atlas going to do during its perihelion? If anything, will it do an Oberth maneuver? Will it redirect to Earth? Will it redirect to Jupiter? We'll just have to wait and see, or we'll just continue along and then participate in this incredible planetary geometry that we have coming up at the beginning of 2026. I don't know, but I'll track this as closely as I can to the best of my ability. So please subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on what is happening. And in addition to that, what is happening energetically here on Earth with earthquakes, volcanic activities, Schumann resonance bursts, also solar activity, space weather, planetary resonances, alignments, cosmic forces, and more. I'm your guy, your cosmic bro. So thank you all so much for watching. Wishing each and every single one of you well. Have an amazing perihelion of 3i Atlas. It is a very, very powerful time. Right now, we have our full supermoon coming up beginning of November, and those big sunspots will be Earth facing at that time. So we also have that coming up, a big energy wave that is cresting and building at this moment. Thanks so much and have a great day.
There is a very strange object flying past our sun. We don't exactly know what this thing is or what it's doing. We can't even see it anymore. But we have been watching this object very closely for months. We've given it a name, 3i Atlas, and we've given it a title, Interstellar Comet. There is a lot that we know about this new visitor to our solar system. In just 4 months, there have been nearly 100 research papers published on 3i Atlas, and there is plenty of other information out there that doesn't appear on the official record. Some of it can sound pretty insane. So today, we're going to cut through the noise and we are getting to the bottom of everything you actually need to know about 3i Atlas.
Right to Earth is like the stupidest thing you could do. As far as I know, like based off of my assessment, it really doesn't make sense. That's the thing. So you can look at this from a variety of angles. We have the coronagraph data showing it moving along its trajectory as expected without any additional acceleration or deacceleration. But we have this unknown of the future. I think it's a very low probability, but it is a useful platform to explore this stuff. But it's really just about how we like talk about things. I feel like one of the bigger stories here is just like how we communicate with others, because throughout my video I just released, I was like, guys, just right from the get-go, this is a video where we explore what this possibility is. It's speculatory, but you know, maybe that plays out. Again, I don't think it is. Whereas some people that are really big on this, you mentioned this Harvard professor guy, you know, I listened to a clip with him. They asked him a question because one of these fake conspiracy things that was floating around was that all of a sudden multiple objects were following Atlas, like they had like detached from it and there was like a whole fleet of them now. And, people don't know what they don't know. So the news anchor was like, is that true? And he didn't answer the question. He just circled around it like a politician. And it's like, we have observations. We can say, no, we don't have any observations of that. If it is an alien technological craft or something, perhaps that could happen. But as of this moment, we don't have that. So I don't know what the problem is with people just to like accurately convey and how they structure their language so we see the order of operations, so we don't just jump to conclusions. We can say, okay, well, we don't have this, but maybe this is there, and that's like the next step, and da-da-da. And I don't know. I think it's just a glimpse more so into the structure of people's brains, their thinking, their mindset, their philosophy, their programming. I personally, and I've said this from the beginning, and I actually really haven't changed my stance at all. I've just explored a bunch of different angles. But right from the very beginning, I said, when this interstellar object entered our system, it started to change the morphic resonance of the information conscious field of our solar system. And you've had a lot of interesting guests talking about these things, so you know exactly what I'm talking about, and same with the audience, right? We are at a deeper level of understanding as to reality once we go to this more informational level and this quantum level, the base field of energy, information, and consciousness. You have something foreign come in and everything already has this resonance and structure in the solar system, it's going to change things. I've been feeling my own changes. People collectively, you probably, I think Heather Ensworth and Pam Gregory, I think they're spot on with saying, it's not an interstellar object, it's an interstellar being. Like, what's the consciousness of this? We know there's mineral consciousness, plant consciousness, animal consciousness, right? Different higher dimensional consciousnesses as well, astral going into causal and all these different zones. Like, you can read into Isaac Bentov and his work and many others. And so there's many ways that we can explore this, but this alien angle, maybe we had to, but that's very materialistic. And so we'll get our answers in the realm of material reality. If that is the case, we will see it do a trajectory move, and then we should freak out. And that doesn't mean it's not interesting or exciting. That doesn't mean there's not a lot happening. But I feel, again, with if you can't answer a question simply, then there's just what's your real agenda? Because the people just want a yes or a no and then context. Or, right? It's just if you're doing this politician circle thing, it just, I don't know, it just rubs me. It's something come on, we should be beyond this. This is we're moving beyond this now. We need to elevate and ascend beyond this low frequency stuff. But I don't know, maybe I shouldn't be so judgmental. Maybe I just get a little fired up.
It's interesting as well, because what you can observe is what you can observe. And I think there's some questions I want to ask you about that. But to your point, it was, I remember reading somewhere that Jung suggested that UFOs were actually projections of the self in some way. And, just considering that there's, like you said, this is a third in 8 years, this interstellar object is moving through the plane that it is moving through, happenstance, sure, okay. But, interestingly, there's an aspect of our mind, our psyche, it's going to have an impact because it's not from where we are. It's interesting because you do speak about that quite a bit, in that we don't know what it is, but we do know it's different. Right? And that's all we can deduce for some degree, but it does carry, because there are some really interesting things about it. You said it's quite small from your observations. It's only 50 kilometers across, but actually not to sort of look at it as a gravitational.
That's interesting. He did say it's not that, it's 50 kilometers across. That's not as big as they were reporting it as. They were saying it's a lot bigger than that, but 50 kilometers is not that. Actually, 50 kilometers is kind of big, actually. Let me think about that. That is big. It's big enough.
Thing, but to look at it more electromagnetically, and that it's actually having quite a significant impact. Can you unpack that for us here?
Yeah, that's a good point, because if it is maximum 50 kilometers across, hopefully we get better data and we can resolve its size and characteristics to a better degree. And it's strange that we haven't had any data released from this Mars flyby with NASA and also Chinese and the
Gonna
UAE.
ask you about that.
So there's some
why
weird
are we
stuff.
not getting it anyway?
There's some weird stuff happening, folks. Okay, so it's not just like, okay, everything's totally normal, it's a comet, and go back to sleep like forever. There's some weird stuff happening, but I mean, it's at the same time, if it's not that big in the context of like a planet or something, then its gravitational effect is going to be fairly minimal. Doesn't mean it's maybe insignificant, but probably it's not the main factor by far. Then you can go to the realm of electromagnetism, which is a much stronger force, like tremendously stronger force. It's like a trillion, something like that, or even like a million trillion times trillion million. I mean, it's insane. It's 10 to 36 zeros. You can look it up. I mean, that there's certain ways of quantifying it, but that's like one of the main ways. And that's like the next level. You get a lot of understanding there because, I mean, I was forecasting back in late July, once I started to get an understanding what this thing was, we all were, right, collectively. I was like, when it makes that superior conjunction with Earth, that perfect alignment, I expect there to be solar activity. Now, I wasn't sure if there was going to be towards Atlas, towards Earth, but just that alignment itself, I was like, we should probably see some enhanced activity. That was my base case. I've been talking about that on the channel. On the 21st of October, we had this gigantic coronal mass ejection, one of the largest of this solar cycle. Most of the big ones have actually happened on the far side of the sun. It's called Earth-facing quiet. It's a little bizarre, but this was one of the top 5, maybe even top 3 big explosions on the sun. I mean, we don't know the size of that flare, but it might have been a double-digit X flare, which is huge. Basically directly towards Atlas. It was a little bit off, a little bit more towards Venus, but the two are close together. Then on the 22nd, we had another big coronal mass ejection. On the 23rd, we had another one. On the 25th, earlier, so a little bit later than 24 hours later, a 4th one. And then we've had even like a 5th and a 6th, but they started getting smaller. So we had the biggest event right when it hit that alignment, and then they decreased in frequency, and now they're kind of simmering down. So that is very likely probably a electromagnetic interaction where you have, you know, a sunspot itself, right? You have a sunspot creates these explosions. The magnetic field's all twisted up. They have these magnetic vortices that spiral out to space. So if you have a big plasma thing, you know, has some nucleus, but has all this plasma around it, because gravity is helping the plasma hold in place, right? That's where gravity comes in for the most part. Normally there's this empty space there, and that magnetic field can just kind of fade out like this. And then all of a sudden you have this like big thing show up, right? It's going to literally short circuit whatever the normal energy flow is. And that could potentially, you know, cause an explosion. If the sunspot's there, it's going to, or at least that's what I was estimating, and it did. If there's no sunspots, you're probably not going to get it. But then I think the layer below that, which actually gives you a lot more understanding, though you have to like let go, and we know a lot less about this, but at the same time you get a lot more out of it, which is kind of interesting, is that informational consciousness level, and just speaking about simply resonance, frequency, vibration, and these words that we can use are really inadequate to explain what's happening. They are the limiting factor, and this is where just like meditating into that comes into play. Because what is like the resonance, the frequency, the unique vibration of this? It was formed who knows where. It could be hundreds or millions of light years away, traveling for billions of years, and then it comes into our system with its very unique but like pretty structured resonance sequence with the planets and the Earth and the Moon and the Sun and everything else. You know, that's probably going to trigger something from the sun because it's just simply out of resonance, and maybe those solar flares help bring it into resonance temporarily with our system. So there's like the different levels to think about, and yeah, gravity is probably the least informative, and electromagnetism is the second most informative, I would say. And then this other layer, which requires you to let go because we don't really have science on it. Not like we have for a lot of things, like, you know, good, solid, we had the mathematical equations. We don't really have that for this whole quantum informational stuff. It's just mostly ideas and, thought pioneers and thought experimentation and meditation and more.
There's an interesting thought experiment.
All right, so that's a little bit of what Stephen Burns was talking about. So I feel like the more and more I get into this, I learn a lot more. I didn't realize that I slept in science class. I really did. I didn't realize the sun be interacting with things because the sun is alive. Actually, it's alive. It has consciousness, right? So obviously it does. But it was shooting stuff at it. So it's alive, and it realized that it's here, and it realized that it's getting closer to it, and it's just shooting stuff off at it, and it's affecting us too. Oh, let me see what this is. We got some name up here. Let me see. You said human reptiles are making cars with foolish spice faction. Reptilians were in the space with aliens in the space a long time ago. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. You talking about reptilians now? I don't know. We don't know if this is what it is, but I know people get into that side of the conspiracy as well. It goes deep. I be listening to certain people, but I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know if the sun is saying go away or it's communicating or it's like a form of communication. You said reptilian in the earth. They live with us. They are the masters now. Yeah, I've heard people saying that. But yeah, with the sun, like I don't know if it's just a form of communication or is it trying to destroy it? You know what I mean? But it's interacting with it. And that thing is interacting with the sun. They're interacting with each other. Yeah, it's interacting. So I don't know. I slept in science class. I really did. But I'm learning now because class goes beyond, I mean, learning goes beyond the classroom. You can learn something every day. And yeah, it's certainly interacting with it. And it's shooting flares at us too, which can cause earthquakes. And you notice like that we're having a huge weather pattern which that just hit Jamaica. Now, some people seem to think that that was made up because Jamaica is supposed to be a smart city in a certain amount of time, and I don't know. They survived though. I mean, people out there they're taking photos and stuff. It's kind of crazy out there. It shot a transmission to the moon, and the moon shot a transmission back. Oh shit! You imagine that? That means there's something on the other side of the moon. We can't see the other side of the moon from our perspective. We call it the dark side of the moon. But what's on that dark side? Might be a whole situation over there. But if it is something like that, trust me, they've been here before. You know what I'm saying? They not worried about us. But if they decide to redirect and come to Earth, ain't nothing we can do about it. But get your popcorn out and tune into my broadcast because I will be outside. You see, you always believe Mars and the moon were inhabited. Yeah. And look, they'll never tell us. They never tell us, but they'll tell us in movies and stuff. You know, they'll have cartoons. Remember Marvin the Martian? You know, they have stuff like that. And there was like some domes they found on the moon or something that is like they believe that it's not naturally made. I think a lot of stuff we're gonna find out. You said my favorite Martian too. I know. And look, your favorite Martian looked like a human. I remember that show, My Favorite Martian. Damn, you remember that, huh? Man, I was a kid. We used to watch that. What was the other one? I Dream of Jeannie. But they've already like told us a bunch of things in movies and stuff. So you remember Green Acres? Remember Contact, the movie Contact? Independence Day. I forget that other movie. Maybe I said it already. Remember the one where he had to go out and pass the black hole but he know when he get back to Earth, everybody will be dead. He'll still be the same age. I forget that movie. And he found out that there's like life over there. I forget the name of that movie. I forget the name of it right now. Interstellar. Thank you, Steve. Interstellar. Thank you. I'm gonna have to go watch that. But it's like they're telling us, you know. But I honestly think maybe we have the technology to do this. I don't think we do. Or maybe we do and they're not telling us. And then this guy said that a lot of the flying saucers that we see is actually man-made. We reverse engineered some of the technology. That's really us flying it. But they said this right here, this ain't us. You know, people don't saw saucers. There's too many people said they saw saucers, but it not to be saucers out here. But this guy, I gotta find the page. I gotta share it with you guys before I get off here. But he said that all that's man-made. But he said this stuff that's coming now, that's not man-made. He said, yeah, it is man-made, but they're not from here. And then he was saying that people lived here and they left during the back Egyptian times. He said some stayed and some left, and they colonized somewhere else, or they went back. He said you don't know. Either they went back or you don't know. But a lot of these people disappeared. But why don't they just tell us that? Like, what do you think? Like, how come they won't tell us like there's life somewhere else? Like, why won't they just come out and tell us if they know? It don't make sense. I think we can all handle it now. Okay, cool. There's somebody somewhere else. I hope they ain't having the same drama we're having. You know, like that. You know, interstellar drama. That'll be crazy. You go all the way out to interstellar space and have drama. That'll be crazy. Leave it up to humans. We will do that. We got beef in interstellar space. We would do something like that. We don't care where we are. We don't know how to act. You said, I believe if it's aliens, they look at the Earth and just keep flying by. They could. You said we will find out if it's actually the mothership. What is this so-called mothership? Because I say it, but I don't know what it means. What does that mean? The mothership. Like, what does that mean? Like, what does the mothership look like? What color is it? I had a dream about it the other night. I had a dream that the spaceship was black. I had a dream that it was black. I think I told y'all that the other night. I had a dream that this thing was black. And it was so big. Just imagine a city flying over your head. That's how big it was. And it just said it was moving like that. And everybody got silent and was looking up at it. You said the Galactic Federation. I'm talking about this mothership though. I did. It looked like it looks like what that is right there, but a little flatter. It looks flatter and it was black. And I didn't see no lights on it. I didn't see no light. I'm sure it had lights on it, but I didn't see no lights, and it had no propulsion. It was just floating through. And that was it. And it was communicating with me without talking. Like I understood what it was saying, but it was coming through my mind telepathically. Yeah, a lot of people saying that they're doing stuff in the water. That could be the military too, though. And then they talk about this Hadron Collider where they may have messed around and open up a portal. I don't know. But a lot of this stuff I don't talk about because it make me sound crazy. Because I can't prove nothing. So it's just like I'm sounding crazy. It sounds like I need what you call it, a psychiatrist after a while. Because school didn't teach it. But I did have one teacher though. He was cool as fuck. He told me one time, he said, "Tell me what your thoughts on about it. Tell me." And I told him. And other people in the classroom was talking about their shit. So I said, "How come y'all making me like I'm crazy?" They was like, "Well, you never asked us." That's what they said. You never asked. But we feel like it's aliens too. I said, "Yeah, but when I talk about y'all just stare at me." They said, "Yeah, but you never requested any information from that we know. We just listening to you." And then the teacher's like, "Yeah, you're the only one that's like, what did he say? He said, you're the only one that actively talk about it." He said, "So you're sure that there's life out there?" I said, "Yes." He said, "How do you know?" I said, this universe is too big for it not to. It has to. And he said, "You are correct." He said, "I'm in agreement with you." He said, "But I was like, I can't prove it." He said, "I can't either." So we just all started laughing. The class started laughing. Then I said, "I'm not going to get a headache over it. That's what it is." You said the mother vessel is moving towards the human being planet. I don't know what this vessel is. I don't know. Like what's in the vessel? What's in this mothership? Are they coming to collect people? Like what is this about? I think it'll be a whole civilization coming at us if it's big as they say it is. No, not the whole civilization, but the ones that work on this project. The ones that are, obviously they're the ones employed to do this. No, they didn't bring everybody. I think it's just a handful of them. But if they have technology to where they can reach us and we can't reach them, it's nothing we could do. Don't try to fight them. It's not happening. It's not happening. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. But we'll try. We'll try to fight them anyway, just so we could try to reverse engineer what they have. That's what we'll try to do. We'll definitely try to keep that ship to try to reverse engineer what they've done. You said it would debunk the Bible and what preachers have taught. They got to explain it. You believe they're already here. A lot of people think so too, Steve. And they said there's activity in the ocean. And you know there's parts of the ocean that man don't go to. There's parts of the ocean we haven't even explored. So yeah, I'm in agreement with you. If anything, they could be over there, like, because we're not going to come over there. You said this is it, real, make it happen. I don't know. We'll see. But they're waiting desperately to see this thing because it's behind the sun still. And it's been behind the sun for a minute. We don't know what it's doing. But around Thanksgiving, they said we should be able to see it. And they said if we're not able to see it, now we have to be worried now. Because that means it's headed towards us. That's what that means. It's coming right at us. Right at us, man. Yeah. Um, I don't know, guys. Like I said, this is something I've always like I said, it could be just like a regular comment, and it'll be, what do you call it? If it's a regular comment, it'll be we'll be able to see it by end of November if it's a comment. And then it'll be business as usual, because if it's we just had 2 comets pass through Earth recently, like a week ago. I didn't get a chance to see it because it was cloudy out. But some people were able to see it, but I couldn't see it. And I think I missed it anyway. Yeah, so it's business as usual once it passed the sun, because the other 2 comets, they reached their perihelion and then they flew by us. So it wasn't no problem. It just regular, you know. So we'll be able to see it around November. To say, okay, yeah, it's a comet. It's just a big ass comet, but it's a comet. So we'll see. Because the last 2 comets, it's more than one comet right now. There's more than one comet flying out there right now. Like I think there was 2 that passed us, and there's another 2. out there right now, and one hasn't reached perihelion yet. The other one has. So this one has just reached it today, 3i Atlas. So again, after it comes from away from the sun, if it's a comet, we will for sure know after that. They'll be able to see it a little bit. But if it kind of do something funky or go somewhere else, then yeah, it's something else. But the only problem is though, it's in a perfect alignment with the ecliptic plane. That's very unusual for a comet to be flying that straight like that. And usually they have that type of orbit. And they said it's also giving off properties that seem like it's not naturally made. So we'll see. This might be the biggest discovery in mankind, and we're living through it. Yeah, so I don't know, man. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I might come back because I want to talk about something else. And they said this whole David situation, he may never get charged because they don't know. They don't know the manner of death. I don't think they know. So David might never get charged. He said it's a very sick environment and it needs some act right. So let's see. Yeah, we need some act right. They probably already know that. They're like, I think their presence enough is enough right there. Because humanity about to go nuts. But if I had got cool with him, I'll troll the whole damn world. My people, I am here. My name is Max. And we're headed to King Charles first. We're headed to his ass. No, I'm just kidding. We're coming to get him. No, I don't want to do that. That'll freak him out. He already older. Got bad feet. He don't need no excitement. Leave Charles alone. Because Charles went through it. You remember when his mother died? You remember when he was walking? Go look at it if you don't believe me. Go look at now you are gonna go back and look. When his mother was going to her final resting place. Well, it happened twice where he had to follow the casket. Remember they had to walk and follow the casket on foot? He looked like his feet hurt. Look at his face. His face was beet red. And I'm gonna tell you why his pressure was up and his feet was hurting. His feet and his knees was hurting, but he had to tough it out. Damn. That man had to tough it out, man. His feet and he had some floor shines on top of it, some church shoes. That man feet was listen, he probably was in bed after that. He probably was in bed for a whole week after that. That man dogs was hurting, I could tell. Yo, it was so bad. His face was beet red and his hands was beet red. That's how I know his pressure was up. And the crazy thing is his mother waited all that time, didn't even give him the title. You know she could have retired. Shit. At least let him have it to where he young. She wouldn't do that. The older people, they don't want to give up this title. They don't want to give up their power. Mitch McConnell, every time I turn out, he keep passing out and shit. He will not retire. It's crazy. He passed out right on air. Passed out. Hey Max, how long will the government shutdown be? Might get crazy. I don't know. If you look at C-SPAN and all that, the Democrats keep voting no on the opening up. They keep voting no. And I think their strategy is to put pressure on Trump to make it like it's his fault. So they could possibly use this to say, look, we open back up the government, vote Democrat. You know how they do. But see, all you gotta do is do some quick research to find out they're the ones that's voting no to open this back up. It's their fault. It's crazy. They don't want to give up these titles, man. They do not want to give up these titles. Mitch McConnell looked like he can barely walk and still trying to do something, but it's somebody doing it for him. But he's just a placeholder. It's crazy. But I tell you what, though, on the first, people, they said they about to go in them stores and just take what they want. That's what they said. They said, we just going to take it. Hell, what you talking about? You said they just want an expansion in Obamacare. Right, that's what they're beefing over. And the Medicaid. But hey, we going to see. Yeah, so crazy. They do not want to open up. I mean, you just go look at the news, you will see it. They will not. They keep voting no. Every day they voting no. And they don't care. It's just gonna go buck crazy out here and they don't care. It's all political. That's what type of time they on. That is what type of time they on right now. Yep. They just like whatever, man. All right, let's see. Yeah, man. I just happened to look at the news, right? To see where they're at. And nope, no agreement. Just saying no. They're not even agreeing to meet with the president. They're not agreeing to meet. They didn't even get that far yet to meet and have a discussion. They just like no. Both sides like no. And guess what? Air traffic control not getting paid. They're not gonna get their check. And they're expected to go out here and still do what they do, which is commendable. I heard some might call out sick. You know how much delays will be? It'll be good for me though. It'll be good for me because there's a lot of delay, but still, it ain't good for people that's traveling. So we'll see. You said he won't stick to his word if the Democrats concede it. But he's not the reason why the government is shut down right now, though. They telling a lie. That's not the reason. I'm watching C-SPAN. That's not the reason. The Democratic side, they're not voting on anything. They're saying no. That's why the government is shut down right now. That's the bottom line. I don't like to go. I don't play political sides. I don't. I want to know why it's shut down right now. I don't care about all the political stuff right now. I know some people are about to get compromised. That's all I care about. So why is that happening? Because that's what they're doing. I mean, they can't put their political differences aside so people could be okay for the holidays. No, they can't. It's their fault. So yeah, we have to call it out like that. We have to be real in life. And it's right in front of our eyes. So we don't want to sit there and blindly say, oh, it's Trump. No, it's not him. It's not. Yeah, they are cutting off them accounts too, Southern Breeze. I also think that's another reason. They are cutting them off. And they never going to cut them back on either. Once they cut it off, they're never going to cut theirs back on. You said he's in Asia shaking hands with China. Yeah, he is on his trip, isn't he? But I'm going to tell you something. Whether they cut off immigrants' accounts or not, it's going to be dangerous out here. I don't agree cutting off people accounts. I don't. That I don't agree with because it could affect all of us that's listening. Because I was telling you what people were planning to do, right? They said, yeah, we're going to go all at the same time to a grocery store and we're going to fill up our carts and we're going to take it. They're not going to be able to come after all of us. They said they're going to take it. Yeah, that's crazy. Got going and apply. Here come ICE. That's crazy. But here's the thing. Let me see if I can find a number. I'm gonna compare the numbers to him and Obama in a second. You're gonna see something. All right, let me see if I could get some numbers for you. Let's see. So give me 1 second here. Oh, hold on a second. Hold on. All right, so let me see. The administration claims that more than 139,000 people were deported since Trump took office in April of 2025. Another report shows the administration was on track to deport 400,000 people, plus the estimated 1.6 million self-deportations by September 2025. It's uncertain. During the Obama administration, more than 3.1 million formal removals. Deportations were logged over 8 years. I believe he's trying to beat that number. For example, fiscal year 2013 alone, the number of removals was about 438,421. Generally, the Obama years remain the highest annual totals in recent history. For example, the peak of 438K in 2013. Obama removed a lot of people. A lot. He did. He moved on, but you really didn't hear about it. You didn't hear about ICE back then, did you? They were around. Think about that. You said that if he would extend Obamacare, they could sit down. Yeah, but here's the thing. Let's just say this. Let's say for them to sit down with him, right? Why don't they sit down with him anyway? Okay, we're just going to concede because we don't want people to be suffering. They won't do that. They're not going to do it. Nope. Not doing it. You said he didn't use military support. I know he's done that over 8 years, though. Since he was in office, he deported all those people. No, it was not military support either. They just went straight with the agencies, little by little each day. But it was done like kind of quietly, though, right? You just didn't really hear about Obama doing that. It was like little fanfare on the news about it, little publicity about it. That's a lot of people. 3 point some million. That's a lot of people. You said they just come right back. It seemed like it. But here's the thing also, the president is only the person to blame. In Washington, D.C., you got to follow the money by way of lobbyists. The money control Washington, D.C. by, way of lobbyists putting money in these Congress people pockets. That's who run this country. So you got to go blame them. So they have an agenda here. The president doesn't have that much power. We think he do. But there's there's a hidden hand here in play. There's a hidden hand here in play. Hidden hand in play. Trump doesn't have that much power. Somebody else, I believe there's a shadow government. I believe somebody else had the power because, I mean, you got to look at it. How did Mitch McConnell get so damn rich? How is Nancy Pelosi making all these good investments? What is she, Warren Buffett? Like, how does she know? It's like she got some insider trading. You know what I'm saying? It's like you scratch my back, I scratch yours. So you need to follow the money trail. And that's how we're going to find out who's really doing this or not. And also, you need to blame them other people, too, over that other country. I ain't going to say who they are because I ain't trying to get shadow banned. But you know who I'm talking about. They're in play, too. So it's a lot going on here. It's not him. He's the person to blame, just like we used to blame Obama for everything. They're just a figurehead. Okay? He's not the reason why this government is shut down. Make no mistakes about it. He's not. He don't have that much power. He's actually fighting with the deep state. If you think about it, that's how I feel about it. I'm not saying that this is true. That's just how I feel about it. You know why I say that? The people out there protesting in New York and stuff, they're paid protesters. Ain't none of you gonna go out there in the cold and protest because you're not gonna do it. No normal person go out there and protest. These people are paid. So my question is, who are paying them? See, I'm not a part of the agenda to hate Trump. I'm not. Now, what I'm thinking is he a part of an organization? Like, who sent him? Is he a part of an organization, or is he really trying to fight the powers that be? But I tell you what, after that little incident he had, that open air incident, he ain't been the same after that. He hasn't. I know people are saying they think he may have had a stroke. I think it's a mental thing. It's fucking with him. I think so. Because it will mess with me too. He was within that close from dying. That will mess with me. I think it's messing with him. Or that could have been enough to get him sick. Because that sent a message to him. Like, look, slow your roll. So we do need some of these. You said that. I hope that up there is not just a rock. I hope not. I hope it's a ship. Because if it comes to us, they're gonna get some act right. And I'm gonna be right here to join them to give y'all the act right. I'm gonna be right here to administer it. I'm like, can I please help? Can I please help? Can I please help? Because I'm going straight to Congress. Oh yes. Oh yes. They're out of here. Because they ain't doing nothing anyway. They're not doing nothing. So you just hope I don't get my wish. Like, yeah. But as far as this whole government shutdown, no, it shouldn't be shut down. No, because the air traffic not getting paid. People are not getting paid out here. Why can't they just say, you know what? We don't want this to go any further. Okay, we're gonna figure something else out, but we don't want this shutdown. We don't. And I think each state should step up and go into their surplus and pay these people. That's what I think as well, but they're not going to do that. Now, Virginia's doing it. Shout out to Virginia. I'm telling you guys, for people that's living up north, New York and New Jersey, it's more racist up here. I'm just letting y'all know that. It's not like that down south, how it is up here. It's worse up here. It's more fucked up here. Trust me, I don't lived in Virginia over 20 years. I know. It's worse up here. It's very worse. The living conditions is horrible up here. It is horrible. And I know people from up here, they think it's crazy, it's corny down there. No, we have more, it's more money down there, actually. We have one of the most expensive zip codes in the country. That's in Virginia, it's in Fairfax. The living is much better down there. It's horrible up here, man. It is. In certain areas. When I say certain areas up here, I'm talking about the northern tip, like near New York. It's horrible. Horrible. I don't know. I think the central part of Jersey and southern part of Jersey is okay. It reminds me of Virginia, but out here where I'm at, it's horrible. Horrible life. It's horrible. I used to think, oh, it's close to New York is really the thing. No, it's not. It's not. I'm talking about right in the tip, like right where New York is. It's called controlled chaos. Like you've been living here so long, you don't see that as a problem. I do, because I lived in Virginia over 20 years. I moved to Virginia in 2002. And I ain't just moved back until about 6 months ago. And I was born here. So I know everything here and everything there. Trust me, it's horrible in this area. It's horrible. They don't see it. People that live here, they can't feel it. I feel it. It's bothering me. It is. That's how bad it is here. The people are mean to each other. They're rude and shit. Um, it's not like that down there. It's not. I mean, it is like that for people that don't move down there. They act like that, but they get their minds right after a while. We can't have our guns up here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. It's crazy. But if you live here, you're not going to notice how crazy it is here until you leave. When you leave, you'll notice it. I mean, I don't know about Lynchburg. I never lived there. But I'm talking about now, though. Nah, you know, shit ain't happening like that out there right now. It's not. You still got Southern hospitality there. Like people, like they might not like you, but they'll say hello to you. No, don't get me wrong. Everywhere has its problems, but I'm talking about the quality of life around where I'm at now is terrible, and I feel it. I feel it a lot. Yeah, when you see that metal, I know it's people not doing well. It's crazy. But I don't know, man. Congress, they need to do better. Like they can't just like have these people not getting paid just because they want to prove a point. Nah, I'm not agreeing with that. You said it's too slow down here for you. Actually, it's not slow. They think it's slow. It's not slow what they think it is. Well, let me think about that. Is it slow? Um, Slow in what way? Like as far as like, people drive fast down there. Um, we have everything that they have up here. We got all the malls down there, everything. Like as far as I'm trying to think. There's a lot more. Okay, there's a lot more space. As far as like there's a lot more space down there. Oh, you mean slow talking? It's no, they ain't really slow walking down there. Uh-uh. It's the same. It's the same as here. But the only problem is though, you don't have a lot of people walking in the street though. Because certain areas they don't have streets. That's a difference. They don't have streets. Some areas where I'm at, they don't have sidewalks. Everybody driving out there. Now in the city, when you go down in Richmond, nah, people not walking slow. It's the same, but it's just less people. It's less people, and check this out. There's a lot of people from New Jersey and New York that live down there. A lot. And the thing is, I noticed it since 2020. There has been a mass exodus of a lot of people that all you see is Jersey and New York plates. That's all you see. And I could tell they from Jersey the way they talk. They talk real fast. I could tell they from Jersey or New York. But out there, we don't have the transit system like they have in Jersey and New York. The transit system sucks, and that will take some getting used to for people that move there. When you move there, you have to get a car. Yeah, that takes some getting used to. Now, the further you go south, yeah, it's a culture shock. Actually, it'll be a culture shock if you move to Virginia. It'll be a culture shock because of the way of life here. Um, the hustle and bustle. New York is right there. You can see New York, the food. You're used to certain food, certain restaurants. That stuff you will miss for sure. Yeah, that stuff you will miss. But it's no place like home, though. You know, you still miss Jersey. You will still miss it. But I guess there is a difference. I mean, I'm thinking about it. There is a difference. Um, it's just everything is spaced out. Like you don't have people on top of each other. Like in the city, you know, everything is so close to each other. It's not like that there. Like, you know, where I'm at, it's like we have a lot of subdivisions, you know, places where, condos, stuff like it is here, but everything is spaced out. But it's starting to get busier because people are moving down there. And it's been like they've been moving down guys in droves. And the locals are complaining about it because it's getting really, really busy. But there's still a difference, I must say. There is. Even like the way the people interact, there's a little difference. It is. But we have a lot of implants there, especially in the club scene, like the bar scene, a lot of implants. Mostly because that area is like all the colleges around there. They're all implants, most of them. But it has its advantages here too. But it's just like the northern tip, like Newark, the Essex County, and I don't particularly like it. Not anymore. And I'm from here. Central Jersey, Southern Jersey is really nice. That's more of my style now because it's more laid back. But everywhere has its challenges. But I hate to get political on here because I don't want to get political anymore. Because it strikes a chord with people. Because some people they're not willing to listen to you; they only hear themselves, and that's it. So I don't like to get political no more. You said, "What's up with the space robot rock?" Oh, it's coming to get you, Michelle. I don't know if did you just come in, Michelle? I don't. Did you hear the breaking news? Did you just come in? It'll be here in 72 hours. If you did, you just come in? Yeah, I had to tell you, I broke the news. I'm just kidding with you. I'm just kidding. Oh yeah, Mitchell. My bad. Damn, I called you Michelle. It is Mitchell. My bad, Mitchell. Damn. I'm sitting up here calling you Michelle. My bad. Damn. It is Mitchell. Damn. My bad. I really I turned you into another gender. Damn, that's bad. I know I need to get off now. No, it clearly says Mitchell, but like, my eyesight. And I usually have it like zoomed in more than I have it. You said since first, really? Yeah, but it's a T there. It's clearly say yeah, it clearly says it clearly says Mitchell, but it's just like I'm not zoomed in. But anyway, guys, let me get out of here. I'll be back a little later. I'm just excited about it. I'm ready to see this comet, man, whatever it is. But we're gonna have to wait a little while before we see it. I think they said roughly like right before Thanksgiving, we should be able to see something or see some activity right now with this thing. But anyway, if it changed course or anything, I know Stephen Burns will be back. All you gotta do is put in Stephen Burns on YouTube, and it's another guy too, the Angry Something. But all right, guys, I will catch you again soon. Thanks for watching.